hmm You know, there's the whole question of the guilt of the accused. Exactly when is it that the Marsden motion happens? Oh, let's say the public defender I had thought I was guilty of the crime. And instead of saying you're going to have a 1077, had said, do you have any proof that you did not commit the crime? And I give him the proof, and he's like, nope, that's not good enough. You're having a 1077. Now we have a real problem with not asking the accused, do you have any evidence? Now, maybe the Port Angeles Police Department has some videos from P. Budnick 21 YouTube channel on June 16th of 2017 where I decided to tear Mr. Calgill a new asshole because of his state's response. Because you're fucking idiots, that's why. So, why don't you just decide that you're not going to prosecute me? Now, I've been telling you for the last 10 months, remove my name from the docket in Jefferson County. Yeah. A prosecuting attorney, right, that actually thinks the individual has some guilt, yes, would want me to have a change of counsel so as to make sure that the prosecuting attorney's office only agrees to mental health evaluations when they have the reasonable belief that the accused has committed the crime. See, this whole thing about, well, why would you want to restore somebody's competency? Because they actually believe the guilt of the individual. Now, it's an easy way for a public defender says, sure, I think we should motion the court before the mental health evaluation so I can step away from the client, right, because I think the fucker's guilty and I think he's crazy. Now, the other public defender, of course, he doesn't consult with him. He finds out for himself that there is a really good probability of his guilt. And he thinks, no, we actually should have a mental health evaluation. Now, some clients, right, they would be using this Marsden motion to try to get them out of being convicted of a crime as if it were some sort of escape clause for not having to do time. But for those that are really innocent, such as myself, yes, it would have been a good protection to make sure that Bruce Hanafy didn't get paid to have me have to have mental health evaluation and treatment if recommended. Or Mr. Range wouldn't have gotten paid to make sure that I end up in a mental institution, Western State Hospital. Now, I realized that he had wanted an expert on his side. That's that last mental health evaluation that I scanned in and I put on my drive so that everybody could read it. Yes. But the truth is, if you don't inform the accused of their right to change of counsel, I might not have agreed to the second mental health evaluation because I didn't agree to the first mental health evaluation because I didn't agree to having you arrest me because I did not agree with every fucking thing you've done. But because of your abuse of power, and your use of authority, without any jurisdiction of law, I've had to go to court when I didn't fucking want to. Now, you're thinking, well, he's going to go tomorrow. We'll make sure we get him in a mental institution. But my thought is, you all can go to prison, for not protecting the rights of the accused. Now, no one in the public defender's office should ever think that not motioning the court a Marsden motion for mental health evaluation treatment if recommended would be a bad idea if they really think the individual is guilty. Now, you don't have to tell the accused that, do you? No, you don't. It might be one of those things that you actually want to have happen so that the new public defender that is assigned to them could fact check the evidence thinking that, well, I think you need restoration treatment. I really do, because the evidence is against you that you did actually commit domestic violence. Now, for myself, you should have informed me of my right to have a change of counsel before you obligated me to have a meeting with Phyllis. Isn't that right? Western State fucking Hospital. Now, what stupid fucking judge is sitting there just dreaming about me being doped up in Western State Hospital, because they don't want to get arrested themselves. Now, I just wanted all of those that are criminals to get that Marsden motion. I mean, work with the assigned counsel and then make sure, oh, look at a fair trial criminal. Oh, the trial of all crimes except the case of impeachment shall be by jury. Ooch. Sixth Amendment guarantees the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury. Let's say we had a Marsden motion, yes, and Speedy didn't toll until you have the mental health evaluation. Ooch. Because as I remember it, Mr. Roberts had said during the last meeting, yep, Speedy had told. Now it's been 6 weeks later, and we only have 6 weeks to go to trial. And no one has any idea about this Marsden motion. What happens if I mention it to Jack tomorrow? I just kind of like print off a couple pages, and I said, Jack, maybe we should do one of these before we have a cell hearing. Exactly how is that going to affect my guaranteed right to a speedy trial? Now, there could be a Sixth Amendment violation again. Should I sue you for violating my right to a speedy trial when you didn't inform me of my right to a change of counsel before you obligate? Yeah, that's going to be a lawsuit. Now, the impartiality. Letter F. The defendant is entitled to an impartial judge and jury. Thus, if a judge's interest in a trial is both personal and substantial, the defendant's due process rights are violated. Now, when I tell Judge Landis, yes, you should read the protection order. You remember the video arraignment where you issued that $500,000 failure to appear? Yes. And I told you read it. Okay. And I was like, I don't know where she lives. I don't know where she works. I wasn't really lying. I really wasn't, because I don't know where she lives. And I thought the website of the Brendan School District was bogus because of how fucking shitty it is. Am I being represented by an impartial public defender before an impartial judge for the very serious crimes per se, where a judge would have made sure, well, did you inform the defendant of his right to change of counsel? Now, maybe Judge Landis said, that's not my job.